Right, welcome back. This is part 2 of the graphs review, and we're going to kick it off where we left off, which was question 7, where we're finding the gradient, finding the y-intercept, and sketching the graph. So, question B, the m value, the gradient is going to be -1, and our c value is going to be 4. So, in order to sketch this graph, I start at y is 4, which is that point over there. And -1 is actually -1 over +1. So it's 1 down, 1 to the right. 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 And my graph looks like this. Let's do E. E's gradient is m equals +3 over 1. And then C is 0, because there's nothing written there, right? So I start at 0, 0. I go 3 up and 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. I can also go in the opposite. I can go 3 down, 1 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the left. So this line looks like this. Remember that you have to use a ruler. I cannot use a ruler on my screen, therefore I'm doing a freehand drawing, but yours have to be accurate. Question H, m equals the coefficient for x, which is -1 over 3, and c is +3. So -1 over 3, I start at the point +3 for c. That's where I start. -1 over 3 is 1 down, 3 to the right. So let's go 1 down, 1, 2, 3 to the right. 1 down, 1, 2, 3 to the right. 1 up, 1, 2, 3 to the left. 1 up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So our line will look like that. That is H. One more set, C, F, and I. So for C, m equals 2 over 1. That's that. And c equals +2. So I start at +2. I go 2 up and 1 to the right. 2 up and 1 to the right. 2 down, 1 to the left. 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 Okay, there you go. That is line C. Let's do line F. F's m value is -1 over 2, and the c value is not stated, therefore it's 0. I start at 0, 0. -1 is 1 down, and +2 is 2 to the right. So 1 down, 2 to the right. 1 down, 2 to the right. 1 down, 2 to the right. 1 up, 2 to the left. 1 up, 2 to the left. And our line looks like this. And lastly, we have I. I's m value is not stated, so m is 0 and c equals 3. So I'm going to start at 3, but I'm not going up or down. I'm staying on 3. So my m value is 0. This is the graph for y equals 3 with a 0 gradient. That's the end of question 7. Now let's look at question 8. Question 8 says use axes intercepts to graph the line with the equation y equals x plus 1, y equals x plus 4. Now notice they are asking for intercepts, so you need to calculate the intercepts. So let's do that. For the x-intercept, you need to know that y equals 0. So you write the equation y equals x plus 4. Then we substitute for the 0. So I'm going to say 0 equals x plus 4 because y equals 4. So now I need to get x alone. I'm going to move that 4 to the other side. So I'm going to say -4 here and -4 there. So I know that -4 equals x. My x coordinate is going to be -4, 0. Now for the y-intercept, I say y-intercept x equals 0. Y equals x plus 4. Y equals 0 plus 4. So y equals 4. my y-intercept is going to be 0, 4. So I draw my y-intercept, it's going to be here. If I draw my x-intercept, it's going to be there. If I connect the lines, it's going to look like that. Remember to use a ruler. Use the intercepts. X-intercept, y equals 0. Y equals minus x plus 3. I substitute 0. Y equals minus 0 plus 3. Oh, right. So what we're substituting, actually y equals 0. So 0 equals minus x plus 3. Now I want x equals a number. So I'm going to add x on both sides. And I'm moving the x because it's negative. So I'm just going to make it positive quickly. And I'm saying x equals 3. Therefore, my x-intercept is going to be 3, 0. I can put that on my graph right over there. Now for the y-intercept, I know that x equals 0. So y equals minus x plus 3. Y equals minus 0 plus 3. So y equals 3. My intercepts are going to be 0, positive 3. And it's over there. So I draw the line, it will look like that. Question C, y equals 2x plus 4. So if I did my x-intercept, I know that y equals 0. So I say y equals 2x plus 4. 0 equals 2x plus 4. I'm going to move the plus 4 to the other side, so minus 4 on both sides. So I have minus 4 equals 2x. Now I'm going to get rid of the 2, so I divide by 2 on both sides. And I have minus 4 divided by 2 is 2, minus 2 equals x. Okay, so for my x-intercept, my coordinate is going to be minus 2, 0. I can sketch it as that point. Now for my y-intercept, I know that x equals 0. So if I say y equals 2x plus 4, I say y equals 2 times 0 plus 4 because I substitute the 0 in. Now I multiply, say y equals 0 plus 4. 2 times 0 is 0. And then I say y equals 4. So my coordinate is going to be 0, 4. Over there, my graph looks like that. Y equals minus 2x plus 5. For my x-intercept, y equals 0. So y equals minus 2x plus 5. Y is 0, so I put 0 there. Equals minus 2x plus 5. Now I need to put 1 on the other side. I'm going to go with minus 2x because it is negative. So I'm going to make it positive by saying plus 2. By saying plus 2x on both sides. So I have 2x equals 5. Now I divide by 2 on both sides to get rid of that 2. And I have x equals 5 over 2. So my coordinate is going to be 5 over 2, 0, which is the same as saying, remember that 5 is 2, 4, so it's 2 wholes and 1 half, 0. So if I plot this, it's 2 and a half, right there, halfway between 2 and 3. My y-intercept, x equals 0. So y equals minus 2x plus 5. I write the equation as it is. Now I substitute x is 0. Y equals minus 2 times 0 plus 5. Now I multiply. Minus 2 times 0 is 0. So y equals 0 plus 5. And I added y equals 5. So my intercept is going to be 0, 5. That's over there. So my graph is going to look like this. Next up, we have y equals a half x minus 2. For my x-intercept, y equals 0. Y equals 1 over 2x minus 2. So y equals, 0. I substitute. So I substitute 0 equals 1 over 2x minus 2. I'm going to take the 2 over. So I'm going to say plus 2 on both sides. 2 equals 1 over 2x. Then I'm going to multiply it by 2 on both sides to get rid of that 2 on the x. So 4 equals x. My coordinate is going to be 4, 0. Right over there. For my y-intercept, x equals 0. Y equals 1 over 2x minus 2. Minus 2. So y equals 1 over 2 times 0 minus 2. Y equals 0 minus 2. Y equals minus 2. So my coordinate is going to be 0, comma, minus 2, which is going to be over there. My line is going to look like this. X-intercept, y equals 0. Y equals 3 minus 1 over 2x. 0 equals 3 minus 1 over 2x. I'm going to take the x over because it's a negative number, so I say plus 1 over 2x on both sides. So 1 over 2x is equal to 3. Now I'm going to get rid of this 2, so I multiply by 2 on both sides, and that gets rid of the denominator. X is equal to 6. My coordinate is 6, 0. That's over there. Y-intercept, x equals 0. So y equals 3 minus 1 over 2x. Y equals 3 minus 1 over 2 times 0. Y equals 3 minus 0. Y equals 3. So my coordinate is 0, 3. That's that one over there. And my line looks like this. G, y equals a half x plus 1. For my x-intercept, y equals 0. Y equals 1 over 2x plus 1. 0 equals 1 over 2x plus 1. So my x is positive. I'm going to keep it. Let's move the 1 to the other side. Minus 1 equals a half x. Get rid of the 2, so those 2 cancel out. Multiply by 2 on both sides. Minus 2 equals x. So my coordinate is minus 2, 0. And that's that point there on the x-axis. For my y-intercept, x equals 0. Y equals 1 over 2x plus 1. Y equals 1 over 2 times 0 plus 1. Y equals 0 plus 1. Y equals 1. Coordinate is 0, 1. That's that point there. My line looks like this. And the last one, H. I think y equals 2 minus x over 3. So y-intercept means that x equals 0. So I say y equals 2 minus x over 3. Y equals 2 minus 0 over 3. Y equals 2 minus 0. Y equals 2. Y coordinate is going to be 0, 2. That's going to be over there. Notice I swapped them by accident. Okay, x-intercept, y equals 0. So y equals 2 minus x over 3. Y is 0. 0 minus 0 equals 2 minus x over 3. I'm going to take the x over 3 over because it's already negative. So plus x over 3 on both sides. X over 3 equals 2. Get rid of the 3, multiply by 3 on both sides, so this and this cancels out. X equals 2 times 3 is 6. So my coordinate is 6, 0. That's that one there. So my graph looks like that. All right, that was question number 8. Now we're going to look at question number 9. Question number 9 asks, is this a vertical or horizontal line? In order to answer it, you need to plot the graph. So let's start with y equals 3. I'm going to go on the y-axis, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw y equals 3, and this is A. Therefore, A is horizontal. X equals 4, looks like that. That's B. It is vertical. Y equals minus 2, looks like that. That is C. It is horizontal. X equals minus 6, looks like that. This is D. It is vertical. Question 10 says, that's 10, identify as vertical or horizontal. So for question 10, we're going to do a line with a 0 gradient. So any line with a 0 gradient is horizontal. That's a 0 gradient, that's a 0 gradient, that's a 0 gradient. It is horizontal. Any line with an undefined gradient is vertical. That's undefined, that's undefined, that's undefined, that's undefined. So that is vertical. Okay. Question 12. Now question 11 I skipped because I'm not going to ask it in your assignment. So let's go to question 12. Can you make y the subject of the equation, hence find the gradient of x plus y equals 5? That's question A. Now they're asking two things. They want y as the subject of the equation and they want the gradient. So the first thing that we want to answer is we want to put your equation into the form y equals mx plus c, where y is the subject of the equation. So for A, we're going to say x plus y equals 5. To make y the subject, I need to get rid of the x, so I say minus x on both sides, and I have y equals 5 minus x. Okay, so this sort of answers the question, but it's not mx plus c, it's c plus mx. So let's swap it. Y equals minus x plus 5. That's the answer for A. For question B, we have 2x plus y equals 4. Let's move the 2x to the other side. Y equals 4 minus 2x. Let's swap the 4 and the 2x. Y equals minus 2x plus 4. Question C. Y minus 3x equals 5. Let's take the 3x over, so plus 3x plus 3x. Now remember, we do the opposite of that sign. So if it's minus, we add. If it's positive, we subtract. So y equals 5 plus 3x. And we swap it around, y equals 3x plus 5. There we go. Okay, question D. 2x minus 3y equals 6. Let's move out 2x. This is plus, so we're going to say minus 2x on both sides. So we have minus 3y equals 6 minus 2x. I get rid of the minus 3, so I divide. Every term gets divided by minus 3. This cancels with that cancels with that, so I have y equals plus divided by minus is minus. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then minus divided by minus is plus 2 over 3x. Swap it around, y equals 2 over 3x minus 2. Question E says 2y plus x minus 6 equals 0. In this equation, everything is on the same side. So I want y by itself. I'm just going to move y over. I'm going to say minus 2y on both sides. That helps me out. Then I say x minus 6 equals minus 2y. Get rid of the minus 2 on the y, so everything gets divided by minus 2. Plus divided by minus is minus 1 over 2x. Minus divided by minus is plus. 6 divided by 2 is 3, equals, plus and minus cancel. 2 and 2 cancel, y. So if I rearrange it, I say y is equal to minus 1 over 2x plus 3. All that I did was I flipped left and right, but everything stays the same. Question F. 6 minus 2y plus 5x equals 0. I take my 2y over, 2y plus 2y. 6 plus 5x equals 2y. Divide everything by 2 because I want to get rid of this 2 by the y. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, plus 5 over 2x is equal to y. I swap it around, so I say y equals 5 over 2x plus 3. Question G. 3x plus 7y equals minus 21. I move the x, so minus 3x on both sides. 7y equals minus 21 minus 3x. Divide by 7 to get rid of that 7. Divide by 7, divide by 7. Y equals minus divided by plus is minus. 7 goes into 21 3 times. Minus divided by plus is minus 3 over 7x. Rearrange, minus 3 over 7x minus 3. That's it. Question H. 2x minus 5y equals 10. Minus 2x on both sides. Minus 5y equals 10 minus 2x. Divide by minus 5 because I want to get rid of this. So divide by minus 5, divide by minus 5. Y equals minus divided by, plus divided by minus is minus. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Minus divided by minus is plus. 2 over 5x. Rearrange, y equals 2 over 5x minus 2. Question I. 5x plus 3y equals 30. Get rid of the x, so minus 5x minus 5x. 3y equals 30 minus 5x. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals 30 divided by 3 is 10. minus 5 over 3x. Rearrange. Y equals minus 5 over 3x plus 10. All right, now we are on question 13. Question 13 asks you to match the equation to the graph. So each equation has got a number, a letter ABC in small letters, and each graph has got a letter ABC in large letters. So how do we do this? The first thing I'm looking at is question 1. Y equals x plus 1. So I first look at my y-intercept, and that's plus 1. And I see that I've got h that goes through plus 1, I've got c that goes through plus 1, and I've got d that goes through plus 1. So my answer is going to be either h, c, or d. Now I look at the gradient to decide which of the three is it. My gradient is plus 1, which means it's 1 up, 1 to the right. So I'm starting at plus 1, and I go 1 up, 1 to the right. 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 And that is D. That is how I answer this question. Let's look at C. Now let's do B. So for B, we're going to do B in green. B says y equals 1 minus x. So for B, I am looking at the same C value, which is positive 1. And my M value is going to be 1 down, 1 to the right. So let's go 1 down, 1 to the right. 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 So I can see that it is H, the green line. Next up, I'm looking at C. 2y equals 3x plus 4. Now, in order to answer this, I must simplify. So for C, we say 2y equals 3x plus 4. I divide everything by 2. So y equals 3 over 2x plus 2. Therefore, my y-intercept is positive 2. And if I look at positive 2, my options are A, only A. No, A and E. A and E go through 2. So I go 3 up and 2 to the right. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Looks like the green line. So the answer is going to be E. Let's do question D. X plus y equals 5. So D says x plus y equals 5. So y is going to be equal to minus x plus 5. So I'm starting at plus 5, and I've only got one line that goes through that, and that is line B. But let's check the gradient. It's 1 down, 1 to the right, because it's minus 1. 1 down, 1 to the right. 1 down, 1 to the right. So the answer is B. Let's do E. 2x plus 5y equals 10. 2x plus 5y equals 10. 5y equals minus 2x plus 10. Y equals minus 2 over 5x plus 2. So again, we're going through plus 2, and we said going through plus 2, our gradient is going to be minus 2 plus 5. So it's 2 down, 5 to the right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's there. So the answer is going to be A, the maroon line. Next up, we've got F. So F says, I'm going to rearrange it. I'm going to say 4y equals 4 minus 2x. So y equals 1 minus 2 over 1, 2 over 4. X, or y equals 1 minus a half x. So my m value is minus a half, and my c value is 1. So I start at 1, 1, which is right there. And I go 1 down, 2 to the right, 1 down, 2 to the right, 1 down, 2 to the right, 1 down, 2 to the right. I end up with C. For G, we have x minus y equals 3. So minus y equals minus x plus 3, and y equals x minus 3. So we start at minus 3. I've got only one line that goes through minus 3, and the gradient is 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. So that's going to be line G. And finally H. H is a half y equals a half x minus 1. So multiply everything by 2. So y equals x minus 2. And I've got one line that goes through minus 2, that is F. The gradient there is 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. And that's how you answer question 13. So what did we do? We started at the y-intercept. We started at C, and then you follow the gradient to see which line follows the gradient. Question 14a. Find the gradient, find the y-intercept, find the equation of the line. Now, because they haven't given us grid lines, we're going to use the equation to calculate the gradient. So the equation says m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That means if this is 1 and that one's 2, it means it's going to be m equals 1 minus 0 over 0 minus minus 1. And then m equals 1 minus 0 is 1 over 0 plus 1 is 1. So m equals 1. That's fine. For question number 2, we are finding the y-intercept. You simply look at the y-intercept. C equals 1. And for question number 3, we want to say y equals mx plus c. So y is going to be equal to 1x plus 1. And that's our equation. B, same thing. First we're doing the m value. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that equals to 1 and 2. It's 3 minus 2 over 4 minus 0, which equals to 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 0 is 4. M equals to a quarter. Question 2 says C is, we look over there, C is 2. That's where it cuts the y-intercept. And then 3, what's the equation? Y equals mx plus c. Y equals 1 over 4x plus 2. Question C. Gradient. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which equals 2. They don't give us 2 points, but we know the origin is going to be 0, 0. So this is point 1, this is point 2. So we're going to say it's 1 minus 0 over 2 minus 0. So m equals 1 over 2. Question 2, the y-intercept, c equals 0 because that's where it cuts the y-axis. And my formula, question 3, y equals mx plus c. So y equals 1 over 2x plus 0, or y equals 1 over 2x. Question D, find the gradient. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if we wanted to hop, are you able to hop on a grid like this without the lines? Okay, so it's 2 down and 2 to the right. So basically, m is going to be minus 2, 2 down, over plus 2, 2 to the right. Therefore, m equals minus 1. C equals 2. and y equals mx plus c means y equals minus x minus 1x plus 2. Again, we're working with 0, 0 as being our origin point. So here, change in y over change in x, m equals delta y over delta x. To go from here to here, it is minus 3 down, and to go from minus 1 to 0, it is going to be plus 1. So m is equal to minus 3. C is equal to 0 because that's where it cuts the y-intercept, and y equals minus 3x plus 0. Equation F. Okay, so how do we do this if we wanted to jump? Looking at the y value. It's 2 to get to 0 and another 1 to get to minus 1. So m equals minus 3. Minus 2 plus minus 1 is minus 3. Down, right? And then to get from minus 2 to 0, it's 2 to the right, plus 2. So that's my m value. My c value is going to be this point, minus 1, and y equals minus 3 over 2x minus 1. To get from 1 to 0, it's minus 1. And to get from 0 to 3, it's plus 3. So that's my m value. C is 1. Y equals mx plus c. So y equals 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 x plus 1. Question 8. To get from minus 1 to 0, it is plus 1. To get from 0 to 2, it is plus 2. So m equals a half. C equals minus 1. Y equals mx plus c. Y equals 1 over 2x minus 1. To get from 0 to 1, it is plus 1. To get from 0 to 4, hold on. To get from minus 2 to 0, it is plus 2. To get from 0 to 4, it is plus 4. So m equals 2 over 4, which equals to 1 over 2. C equals 2, minus 2. Y equals mx plus c. Y equals 1 over 2x minus 2. Question 15 will not be asked in your assignment, and that marks the end of your worksheet. I hope this helped you.